I always believed love could survive anything. I wasn't the kind of guy who gave up easily, and I wasn't someone who walked away when things got hard. I believed in fighting for the people you love. I believed in choosing them every single day. I believed in loyalty, maybe a little too much. And I believed in her. Absolutely, blindly, like she was the safest place in the world. But everything changed the night she didn't come home. It was a Thursday, ordinary for most people, but to me, Thursdays were special. It was the day we met, 6 years ago. Every Thursday, we'd get takeout, watch a movie, talk about life. She always came home early on Thursdays. Always. But that night, time kept moving without her. 10 p.m., 11, midnight, and no text, no call, no message saying, "Hey, I'll be late." I tried not to panic. I tried to convince myself she was fine. I told myself maybe she was with friends, maybe her phone died, maybe she had extra work. But deep down, something felt off, like a cold hand slowly closing around my heart. At 12:47 a.m., I opened my phone and checked her location. I swear, I still remember the way my breath stopped. Her location wasn't at her office, it wasn't at her friend's place, it wasn't anywhere familiar. It was a hotel 30 minutes away from our home. And it wasn't just that she was there, it was that she had been there for hours. I stared at the screen, hoping, begging that it was a mistake. Maybe her phone was stolen. Maybe she went there for some emergency. Maybe someone else had her phone. I came up with 100 hopeful explanations just to avoid the one I already knew in my gut. But the truth doesn't wait for permission. It hits you. Hard. Violent. Cold. My heart dropped, and in that moment, the world felt painfully quiet. I sat there for 10 minutes just staring at the blinking blue dot on the map, feeling something inside me slowly break. But I didn't scream, I didn't message her, I didn't call, I didn't even get angry. Because sometimes the hurt is too big for anger. I waited. I sat on the couch, staring at the doorway, pretending everything was normal. At 3:09 a.m., the sound of her keys finally echoed through the hallway. The door opened quietly, like she wasn't expecting me to be awake. Her hair was messy, her lipstick was smudged, her perfume was different. Too sharp, too strong, too covered up. She froze when she saw me awake. "Oh," she said, pretending to be surprised, "you're up." "Yeah," I nodded, pretending to. "Couldn't sleep." She didn't look me in the eye. She just brushed past me and said the kind of lie people say when they think you're stupid. "I was with friends." Just like that. But the truth is, walking away didn't magically erase the pain. It only created space for the reality to hit me even harder. For days, maybe weeks, I didn't talk to anyone. I stopped answering calls, stopped hanging out, stopped pretending that everything was fine. Because behind every strong decision, there is a heart quietly bleeding. And mine was bleeding in ways I didn't even know were possible. The nights were the worst. When the world went silent, my mind wouldn't. I kept replaying every memory, every moment where she said, "I'll never hurt you. I'm loyal. You're the only one for me." Lies. Beautiful ones, wrapped in warmth, but still lies. Sometimes I wondered, was she always like this? Or did I miss the signs? The way she suddenly started hiding her phone, the girls' night outs that doubled every month, the way she stopped hugging me first when she walked in the door, the way her smile felt forced. Looking back now, the signs were everywhere. But when you love someone deeply, you don't look for cracks. You look for reasons to stay. After she left, the house felt different. Her perfume still lingered on the pillows, her hair tie still sat on the nightstand, her half-used shampoo still in the shower. Every object turned into a memory. Every memory turned into a wound. But pain has a strange way of forcing you to rebuild. Not because you want to, but because you must. So I started over. I forced myself to wake up early, even when I barely slept. I hit the gym harder than ever before, lifting heavy just to feel something. I took extra shifts at work. I enrolled in online courses at night. I upgraded my skills, updated my resume, practiced my interviews. And for the first time in a long time, I focused on me. Not us. Not her. Just me. It felt strange at first, like learning to walk again. But slowly, something incredible happened. I started to grow. I got promoted. My income doubled. I moved into a better apartment. I bought new clothes. I took care of my skin, my health, my mind. I even picked up hobbies I'd abandoned. Photography, writing, hiking. People who hadn't seen me in months said, "Damn, you look different. You look happier. You look free." And maybe I was. Because while I was rebuilding, she was falling apart. Karma doesn't always strike loudly. Sometimes it moves quietly, slowly, like a shadow creeping behind you. The guy she cheated with, he wasn't who she thought he was. He wasn't charming. He wasn't successful. He wasn't Prince Charming. He was an opportunist, a liar, a taker. And once he realized she was emotionally vulnerable, financially stable, and desperate for validation, he took everything he could. Money, gifts, access, control. She kept giving, he kept taking. And when she finally ran out, he disappeared. No explanation, no goodbye, just blocked her everywhere and vanished. Her world crashed overnight. Friends stopped supporting her. Her job grew stressful. Her bills piled up. Her mental health shattered. And in the middle of all that chaos, she remembered me. The one person who actually loved her. The one who never betrayed her. The one she destroyed. So one evening, around sunset, I heard a knock on my door. It was her. Eyes red, hair messy, hands shaking. She didn't look like the woman who broke me. She looked like someone life finally humbled. "Can we talk?" she whispered. I didn't say anything. I just stepped aside and let her sit. She told me everything. How he used her, how he drained her, how he made her feel small, unimportant, replaceable. She cried like she hadn't cried in years. And for a moment, I felt a tiny sting in my chest. Not because I wanted her back, but because I remembered the version of her I used to love. She begged, "Give me one more chance, please. I know I ruined everything, but I love you. I always have." I wanted to laugh. Not out of arrogance, but out of disbelief. She loved me? She always had? No. She loved comfort. She loved attention. She loved convenience. Not me. Never me. So I stood up, looked her straight in the eyes, and said the one sentence that ended everything. "Karma already gave you your answer." Then I opened the door and walked away. Not from her, from my past, from all the pain, from the version of myself that accepted less than he deserved. That day, for the first time in a long time, I chose myself. When I walked away from her that day,
It felt like my heart was carrying 20 different emotions at once: pain, anger, disappointment, but also something new: freedom. Real freedom. For the first time in months, maybe years, I wasn't trapped inside that cycle of constant overthinking, lying, and pretending everything was fine. The door closed behind me, and I realized something. I wasn't just leaving her. I was leaving the version of myself who accepted less, who tolerated lies, who thought love meant sacrificing your self-respect. But karma wasn't done yet. Not even close. A few days later, I started getting messages from people I hadn't spoken to in years. Her coworkers, her old college friends, even someone from her gym. At first I didn't respond, but curiosity eventually won. Turns out, her whole life had begun collapsing the moment I walked out. The guy she cheated with, he wasn't just a player, he was a professional manipulator. Someone who'd been targeting women with stable jobs, using them for money, draining their accounts, and disappearing. He wasn't his first victim, and he definitely wasn't the last. One woman told me that he had a habit of bragging about his conquests, that he'd talk about how easy it was to fool women who were unhappy or insecure. When I heard that, something inside me clenched. Not because I felt sympathy for her, no, but because for the first time I realized she didn't cheat because I wasn't enough. She cheated because she didn't know her own worth. And people without self-worth chase validation wherever they can find it, even if it destroys everything they already have. Meanwhile, my life slowly started becoming stable, really stable. I wasn't looking back anymore. I wasn't replaying conversations in my head or wondering what I could have done differently. Instead, I was showing up at work with a sharper mind, sleeping better, eating better, focusing on myself for the first time in forever. Pain can either break you or build you. I chose build. But karma had a few more lessons lined up. One night, I got a call from an unknown number. Normally, I don't answer calls like that, but something told me to pick it up. It was her mother. Her voice was shaking, soft, tired, completely unlike the confident woman I remembered. She said, "I don't know what happened between you two, but she's not doing well. She won't leave her room. She hasn't eaten properly in days. She keeps asking for you." I didn't know what to say. I didn't hate her, but I couldn't save her either. Not anymore. I told her mom, she needs help, not me. I'm not the answer she's looking for. Her mother sighed, like she already knew I would say that. I understand. I needed to try. After the call ended, there was a strange silence in my apartment. A heavy one. Not painful, but reflective. I didn't owe her anything, but I also couldn't pretend I felt absolutely nothing. No matter what she did, no matter how badly she broke me, she had once been someone I loved deeply. And real love doesn't vanish. It just changes shape. Mine had turned into a distant, quiet sadness, the kind that stays with you but doesn't control you. Weeks passed. I kept leveling up my life. Gym, career, new goals, new people. I wasn't looking for a relationship, but I was finally open to one someday. Then, one afternoon, while grabbing coffee, I saw her. Not my ex, but the guy she cheated with. He looked nothing like the charming, confident person she thought he was. Shaggy hair, tired eyes, cheap clothes, rushing through people like he was being chased by the world. He didn't notice me, but I noticed everything about him. And in that moment, I understood what karma really is. It's not punishment. It's reflection. It's the universe giving back the energy you send out. He left destruction behind him, and now he was drowning in his own chaos. I walked away quietly, without saying a word. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need closure. Everything I needed already happened. She lost something real. I lost something fake. Both of us got exactly what we deserved.
After I walked away from her that day, I thought the pain would disappear immediately, but it didn't. Healing isn't instant. Some nights, the silence felt heavier than her betrayal. I would lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering how the person I once trusted more than my own heartbeat could turn into a stranger I no longer recognized. But every time her face flashed in my mind, I reminded myself, she chose this path, not me. I started therapy, not because I was broken, but because I didn't want her betrayal to change the kind of man I was becoming. My therapist told me something I'll never forget. Pain doesn't shape you. How you respond to it does. Those words became my fuel. I stopped replaying the memories and started rewriting my future. I upgraded my apartment, joined a gym, learned how to cook properly, even traveled alone for the first time in years. Every small win rebuilt a part of me she had destroyed, and with each step forward, I felt the weight of her lies lifting off my shoulders. Meanwhile, life wasn't as kind on her side. Mutual friends would mention how she was struggling, how the man she cheated with had left her thousands of dollars in debt, how she lost her job because she was too distracted chasing a fantasy that didn't even want her, how she was living on a cheap couch in someone's tiny apartment. She kept trying to reach out through fake accounts, unknown numbers, even old emails, but I never responded. I was done being the man she ran to when her choices burned her. I wasn't her safe place anymore. One evening, months later, I ran into her by accident at a grocery store. She looked different. Not the confident girl with big dreams I used to know. Her eyes were tired, her clothes were worn out, and her smile, once so bright, was now replaced with guilt and regret. She tried to talk, stepping closer like old times, but I took a step back. That's when I realized I no longer felt anger or love or even resentment. I felt nothing. And sometimes nothing is the most powerful closure you can get. She whispered, "I'm sorry, I never meant to lose you." I looked at her, calm and steady, and said, "You didn't lose me. You threw me away." She started crying right there in the aisle, but I didn't stay. I simply walked past her, not out of cruelty, but out of peace. Because forgiving someone doesn't always mean letting them back in. Sometimes it means letting them go forever. That night, for the first time in a long time, I slept without a single thought of her.